It's a sign of just how severe this crisis is that when I say there are 5.25 million more Americans filing for jobless benefits, that actually represents a slowdown on previous weeks. Never before have so many Americans found themselves out of work so quickly. As you can see on our graph, the weekly average before the lockdown began was around 300,000 per week. Many state unemployment offices say they've been absolutely overwhelmed by the new requests. They haven't been able to process all the claims they've been receiving, so there's still a bit of a backlog there. The big question is going to be now whether the U.S. labor market has turned a corner. Is this really as bad as it's going to get? Analysts broadly think that these weekly numbers may have peaked, but that an upturn is certainly nowhere near in sight. Goldman Sachs, for one, is predicting some 38 million jobless claims by the end of May. If that were to be proved to be correct, it would mean we were about halfway there now. Now, the $2 trillion emergency stimulus package that was passed by Congress a few weeks ago expands the pool of Americans who are eligible for unemployment benefits. It means that self-employed people and people in the gig economy like Uber or Deliveroo workers now are eligible for those benefits. So that's going to see numbers climbing. Millions of people should start receiving those individual $1,200 stimulus checks on which we know Donald Trump has asked to have his name featured. Another sign of just how much the U.S. economy is suffering, though, is that the $350 billion that had been set aside to help struggling companies has been used up already. The Small Business Administration saying 1.5 million companies have asked for loans and been granted them. Congress is now debating if and how to top that funding up. This week, we've also seen historic drops in retail, manufacturing, industrial activity, housing starts, which dropped again in new data released today. Coupled with the jobless numbers, it's very easy to see why the U.S. president is so anxious to reopen the economy again. He's been speaking to his newly formed business task force about the economic ramifications of this crisis. Executives there have reportedly told him they want testing to be stepped up on a really massive scale before they're ready to tell their employees to come back to work or start the process of rehiring those who've had to be let go.